So I understand this is a little bit complicated to explain, so I'm going to explain the best way I can as possible. Back in 1995, Toy Story was released. By the time I was born in 1999, Toy Story 2 was out. I was a baby by the time it was released, but I didn't even consider thinking it was released because I didn't even know it was. By the time I was old enough, let's say around like 6 years old, I started watching Toy Story on tape. I started watching the first one. I kind of got a little confused at that part because I really wasn't really a Disney Pixar kind of guy. I just watched what my siblings was watching. And so the more I watched Toy Story, the better I can understand what the whole story was about. And so be it, we got Toy Story 2. And after that, I started watching Toy Story 2. Then I kind of figured, I thought this whole movie was just about toys being toys, enjoying their new owner. But as far as I grew, when Toy Story 3 was out in 2010, in 2019 when Toy Story 4 was out, now we get to the point of Toy Story 5. And when I connect the dots in this whole storyline of Toy Story, I'm starting to connect the dots a little bit better. Unlike any toy of Andy who picks, it's going to be his favorite. And the only favorite he had was Woody. Though I really don't understand their origin, how he became Woody's favorite, because I don't know how he picked him. Because as far as Andy goes, he loves any toy he picks. I mean, he has so many toys. But his one favorite was Woody. And even though Woody had his moments with Andy so much, but when Buzz was in the mix, Woody thought he was replaced. But Buzz actually thought he was a space ranger. And even though Woody tried his hardest to convince him he wasn't no space ranger, he was just a regular toy like him. And even though it took him a long time to figure that out, Buzz thought he actually could fly. But then when he realized he couldn't, he realized Woody was right. I'm just a toy. Nothing more, nothing bad about that. So it comes about they became friends. They escaped from their neighbor. They pretty much was able to see their owner again, and Buzz was able to fly at the scene. So, they continue on their days. Now we get to a version of Toy Story 2, where pretty much Woody gets involved with another stranger who takes him away from his owner. And yet Andy's still Andy, and yet the toys are getting along, and Woody gets lost, and the toys gotta go rescue him. And yet somehow he ends up meeting Jesse and this farmer guy. I think his name was Prospector, I think so. But when Jessie came to meet Woody, she was deeply excited. I don't know why she was, even though she had a connection. I don't know if she knew him, but I'm pretty sure Woody never knew her about. But Jessie came to realize that Woody was famous before they were involved. And yet Woody didn't understand that. Woody didn't know he was famous when all those toys showed them what he was. Like, he was a cowboy, like a famous cowboy. Like, he didn't know he had collectible toys, TV shows, and all of a sudden he was so amazed. But then when it came to the mix where Jessie was a little bit confused when she realized that Woody had an owner, and she was a little bit scared, she felt like Woody had to leave. And one thing for straight, Jessie didn't want Woody to leave at all. But Woody was telling Jessie that he had to go, he had to own it, he had to leave. But when it came to Jessie's story, I came to understand why Jessie was so connected to Woody, because she was going through a lot from her owner. And yet Woody had something that she didn't. And it came to that, I started to connect the dots. I get why Jessie loved Woody so much, and she felt like she wanted him to stay. And Woody had no choice, because when Woody saw what she went through, we saw her whole origin, how she was abandoned by her owner. And yeah, she had some moments when she was a kid, but as time went by, she left. Jessie was under the bed waiting for it to be played with, but her owner left her. And I guess that's pretty much why she didn't want Woody to leave, because she didn't want to feel the exact same pain that she went through. Because Woody didn't understand when kids grow up out of toys, they leave. Even though he didn't know that. He always thought that Andy would play with them forever, but those forever times wasn't going to last long. And so when Toy Story 3 came out, Woody came to the picture where Andy is growing up. He's going to college, he's leaving, he's donating his toys, and then they shifted out to Sunnyside. And Sunnyside was a place where retirement toys were pretty much didn't get played with. And they thought it was a good idea. But, Woody still wanted Andy. He wanted to go home with Andy, but even though it took him a while to escape. But when he came back to see his friends again, they all had to come together and figure out a plan to escape from Sunnyside, from Lotso. And even though it took hard work to escape from that dumpster. And then we move on where the part, okay. So the toys are actually in a zone where they have no Andy. They have Bonnie. Even though Andy had to shift his toys to his neighbors with Bonnie, which was the little girl, of course. She loved Woody and Buzz and pretty much the whole toys, but the one thing she did love was Jessie. And when Toy Story 5 came out in 2019, which was years ago, after I graduated, of course, in high school, she really didn't play as much as Woody and Buzz. But as far as Jessie, she loved Jessie. As far as the other toys, she loves Jessie. The one thing, the exact same expression with Andy, the same way that Bonnie was, she loved Jessie so much. Loved playing with her. But as far as that, Woody thought he never got played. He hadn't got played in years since Andy left. So it came to think, this whole storyline of Toy Story is not always about Woody and Buzz. It's more likely about Jessie. Just trying to find a good owner to play with. And now we get the version of Toy Story 5. I see now that even though I haven't seen the movie, this story is all about Jessie. It ain't about Buzz. It ain't about Woody. It ain't about the rest of the toys. It's about Jessie. Trying to get back to her own owner to see if she was pretty much Andy and Jessie in this version. Because Bonnie is pretty much the person who's pretty much playing the toys. But she's more like grown up a little bit. So she's trying to find a friend. So that's pretty much what the story is about. I'm not going to spoil it too much because I haven't seen the movie. So any spoilers, don't spoil it for me. So what I'm trying to say is, Jesse's went through so much that Woody never thought he'd been through. Even though he had so much joy, Jessie went through a lot that even she couldn't even bear the thought that she was abandoned by her owner. I guess that's the reason why it hit me from Toy Story 2 so much, because Jessie didn't want to be abandoned just like she did from her owner. She really wanted Woody to stay, but Woody had to go. But even though when she got kidnapped, when she was left behind, Woody and Buzz went and rescued her, and Woody was like, okay, you're abandoned. Come live with us. And then Jessie accepted it, and they became friends. And just like, I can see it. I can see why Jessie had that connection with her owner, even though she was abandoned. I can see why she didn't want Woody to leave. That was the whole point. I mean, if you ask me, if I had a toy right now in my possession, I grew out of it, do you really think I want to play it back? Play with it forever? I mean, I grew up playing toys. There were so many toys I had when I was a kid. I even had Buzz Lightyear, but I never had Woody. I had Beyblade, I had Bakugan. I had a whole bunch of toys, guys. I really wish I could show you guys, but I grew out of it. And then I started liking technology. So it comes to show, like, there are some toys I like, but I'm not going to like every toy. You see what I mean? Because as an adult like me, 26 years old, I have grown out of it. At some point, children don't last forever when it comes to toys, when they play too much. You may play as a kid, but by the time you keep playing more and more, you realize you've grown out of it. Lesson be learned. Children is not going to last forever each time they see a toy they like so much. Sure, you may make some good memories, but those memories are not going to last forever. So I guess the reason why I see to watch Toy Story so much, because I want to understand what these toys are really all about. Especially Woody and Buzz, because their two are buddies. So, even though I haven't seen the movie, it's out, so no spoilers for me. If you guys seen it, pretty sure you enjoy it. And by the way, some upcoming good news. They are making Toy Story 6, I believe, probably in 2029. That's pretty much 3 years back, so away. I can't believe they're actually making a Toy Story 6. So, yeah. But enough of that, guys. That's enough chit chat for me. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your support, listening to me here talk through Toy Story history. And I'll see you guys later. Until then, stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, stay safe, and good night.